Welcome, my friends. The news today is that Google is cutting hundreds of jobs in its recruiting organization. Google is making significant cuts to its recruiting organization and as it pulls back on hiring. It definitely isn't a conversation any of us wanted to have again this year, a recruiting vice president at Google said in a video meeting announcing the layoffs. If you follow this channel, you already know that layoffs have been running rampant in technology companies. Here, let me review the highlights. You have heard about the 50% layoff at Twitter, the 11,000 person layoff at Meta, and the 18,000 person layoff at Amazon. This video continues our coverage of the wave of layoffs sweeping the United States and the newly announced layoffs at Google. What does it mean for Google? What does it mean for technology companies? What does it mean for Silicon Valley? What does it mean for the economy? And, what does it mean for the future of the United States? But, before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. And, before we continue, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions. Doctors, including any type of specialty. Nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses. Lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus. Teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school. As well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorld.net also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So, be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Google is cutting hundreds of jobs in its global recruiting organization as part of a broader pullback in hiring over the next several quarters. We unfortunately need to make a significant reduction to the size of the recruiting organization, Brian Ong, Google's recruiting vice president, told employees in a Wednesday video meeting. It's not something that was an easy decision to make, and it definitely isn't a conversation any of us wanted to have again this year, Ong said. Given the base of hiring that we've received the next several quarters, it's the right thing to do overall. Employees involved in the recruiting group reductions will receive emails starting Wednesday, Ong said. In January, Alphabet-owned Google announced it was cutting 12,000 jobs, affecting roughly 6% of the full-time workforce. The layoffs occurred across the company, including in Google's recruiting organization. While Google has been in cost-cutting mode since last year, Alphabet reported a 7% increase in second quarter revenue, which was better than analysts expected. Ong also said that employees hit in the latest layoffs will retain access to offices this week and online systems for longer. Employees had previously criticized the company for abruptly cutting off access to those who lost their jobs in January. Courtney Mancini, a Google spokesperson, confirmed the cuts in an email. We continue to invest in top engineering and technical talent while also meaningfully slowing the pace of our overall hiring, Mancini wrote. In line with this, the volume of requests for our recruiters has gone down. In order to continue our important work to ensure we operate efficiently, we've made the hard decision to reduce the size of our recruiting team. Shares of Google rose by more than 5% after the news was announced. Google confirmed it will lay off hundreds of staff members who help recruit and hire employees, as Silicon Valley continues its cost-cutting efforts. The cuts will affect a few hundred members of Google's recruiting organization globally. Most of the team will remain and continue hiring for critical roles such as top engineering talent, according to Google. The company did not specify the exact number of layoffs in the department. Google also said the recruiting cuts are not part of any wider layoffs, and that affected employees will be supported with severance offers and other benefits. Some Google recruiters for the company's cloud, user experience, software engineering and other teams posted on LinkedIn, noting they had been affected by the layoffs. My heart is heavy for everyone that was impacted alongside me, and I know better days are ahead for all of us as much as today doesn't feel like it, one affected Google recruiter wrote. The latest cuts come after Google parent Alphabet in January eliminated 12,000 jobs, or about 6% of its workforce, across the company as it grappled with economic uncertainty that hit the company's bottom line last year, especially its core advertising business. During Google's July earnings call, CEO Sundar Pichai said the company was continuing to slow its expense growth and pace of hiring. We continue to invest in top engineering and technical talent while also meaningfully slowing the pace of our overall hiring, Google spokesperson Courtney Mancini said in a statement Wednesday, adding that the workload for recruiters has declined as hiring slows. To ensure we operate efficiently, we've made the hard decision to reduce the size of our recruiting team. The cuts will affect a few hundred members of Google's recruiting organization globally, Most of the team will remain and continue hiring for critical roles such as top engineering talent, according to Google. The company did not specify the exact number of layoffs in the department. Google also said the recruiting cuts are not part of any wider layoffs, and that affected employees will be supported with severance offers and other benefits. Some Google recruiters for the company's cloud, user experience, software engineering and other teams posted on LinkedIn, noting they had been affected by the layoffs. "My heart is heavy for everyone that was impacted alongside me, and I know better days are ahead for all of us as much as today doesn't feel like it," one affected Google recruiter wrote. Alphabet grew its workforce by more than 50,000 employees starting in 2021 as booming demand for its services during the pandemic boosted profits. But last year, the company's core digital ad business slowed as fears of an economic downturn or a recession caused advertisers to pull back their spending. This year, the company has emphasized its efforts to cut costs as it works to stabilize its business. Google in July said its profits had grown nearly 15% year-over-year in the quarter ended in June, as the company's search and YouTube ads businesses continued to recover. As of the end of 2022, Alphabet had 190,234 employees, according to a filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. By the end of June, its headcount had fallen to 181,798, according to its most recent filing. A wide range of other tech companies also made major layoffs this year as they attempt to cut costs amid economic challenges, including Meta, Microsoft and, more recently, T-Mobile. So, it is clear that Wall Street is rewarding companies that announce layoffs. Tech companies are facing challenges from a number of directions right now. Rising interest rates, inflation, anemic consumer discretionary spending, and overall macroeconomic weakness. This has forced advertisers to cut back on online ad spending. And higher interest rates on cash deposits have diverted investor money away from stocks. Hikes to interest rates from the U.S. Federal Reserve in particular have led to souring appetite for American tech shares. The uncertain macroeconomic climate has piled pressure on all public companies to make deep cuts to their workforces and for profits in general. The tech sector is now firmly in cost-cutting mode. The biggest names in the tech sector are now heavily in layoff mode. Facebook owner Meta, Twitter, Amazon, Oracle, Salesforce. Growth at big tech companies has slowed to pedestrian levels, and actually reversed in some cases. Meta has seen 2 consecutive quarters of declining revenue and is probably headed for a third. Netflix had 2 quarters of declining revenue before achieving meager growth in Q3. Wall Street analysts are handing out stock downgrades like bathroom passes in a grade school. Shareholders are getting restless. Profit growth has become the new goal post. And the era of easy money is over. Of course, it's not just the tech sector. All companies are facing rising costs. But, what do you think? Please leave us a comment below and hit the like button. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.